Welcome back to Kimok 7. Hello. I know this is a topic that is just so difficult to deal with as a parent of autism. If you're a parent to autism, welcome back to Kimok 7. My name is Chad. I'm the father of a 22-year-old boy with autism. His name is Chase. He's such a sweetheart. And I've been very blessed and lucky over the years to not have a lot of disobedience and discipline issues. I feel very, very blessed and lucky. But I just had a very difficult weekend with him, which is why I'm making this video today about obedience and autism and discipline, because I really don't know what to do in certain instances, and I am looking for help, and I would love your feedback in the comment section of this video if you have some recommendations. I've been watching videos on this subject for the last 48 hours, and they're all over the place, and many of them really never get to the point of what they recommend. I was really disappointed in what I watched. I am going to recommend a couple videos, which I'll show you a few here in a minute, and there'll be some links down below. One of them is from a doctor, and she's really good. She was really knowledgeable. You know, when I was growing up, before I get into that, let's talk about what happened this past weekend. So, started out a great weekend with Chase, where I had a lot of activities planned with him, which he seemed very receptive to, and some of which I wanted to videotape and document, with him not in the videos because I'm not allowed to anymore. So just kind of a state of the activities and what we're planning to do, and my different comments of the day. And you can check out that video. It's on YouTube here. It's called Autism Fun, and I'll show you a bit that either, but check out that video as well. Chase was very receptive to these ideas, so I was surprised to find out towards the end of the day that he wanted to delete some of my footage. And in hindsight, I've been thinking for the last 2 days that there's got to be a reason why he wants to delete my footage. He's been told again and again not to do that. That is prohibited, that it is rude, that it is mean to take Daddy's iPhone or other Canon phone and just start deleting randomly, for no apparent reason at all. He's not even in the footage. He's not talking. He's not scripting. He's not in anything to do with it, but he'd be hell-bent on deleting. And additionally, he knows not to post videos on YouTube or Facebook because he's been told over and over by me and hopefully by his mother, yet he is attempting to do it fairly aggressively. So it's gotten to the point where I have to sign out of YouTube, sign out and create codes and passcodes to get in at all these devices to prevent him from doing this. But he's very smart, and certain computers have cookies and things in place, and he figures out a way to get in. And he's brilliant with computers, and I could say no to him a million different ways, and he still figures out a way. So I have to figure all that out, because what's happening is I'm getting very angry, and when you get very angry with your son or daughter, especially if they have special needs, and you start raising your voice and you start yelling, it doesn't go well. And it certainly didn't go well in this incident. And, looking towards the future weekends with him, I need to figure out a different approach, which has brought me to today's video and researching this topic, because honestly, traditionally, my son listens. He is obedient. He listens really well. His comprehension, from my perspective, I can't speak for his mother, is really good. He's such a sweetheart, and he's not aggressive. He's never been violent, and it's such alarming to me this past weekend how I don't even know if disobedient is the word, because he has what I call medium to functioning autism. Sometimes it seems severe, sometimes not. Typically, I perceive him as medium functioning. He's the byproduct of extensive ABA therapy. And this it comes down to that whole topic of, do you punish the behavior or do you have a reward system in place? Completely two different perspectives for disciplining your child. And that's what we're going to kind of talk about today. I'm going to touch upon it because what I think I'm doing is not working. And what I'm trying to do is use an approach of discipline's obedience that would be traditional for a neurotypical person such as myself growing up. I remember a time I really mouthed off to my mom, and my dad went off on me verbally and physically, and I'll never forget it. And that taught me not to repeat that behavior, but that's me. So for discipline and obedience, and I've watched some tutorial videos today, one of them from a doctor, which we're going to touch upon, it's not just a blanket statement. It's very individualized. And for you as a parent, you have to assess your specific child's behavior and needs and uniqueness. It's just not one discipline approach across the board. However, the strategy of using a reward system is far better than a punishment system. For instance, my go-to immediately last weekend was to punish my son by taking away all the devices. That's it. I told him, I said, well, if you're going to keep deleting things and you're hell-bent on uploading things on the internet, then we're going to take away all the devices and you're going to be left with your iPad that you seem to never want to play with. And so for the rest of that day, he was very upset, and he carried that upset over to his mother's house, which, bothers me. Because again, he's traditionally such a sweetheart. There hasn't been these type of issues. And maybe he's getting more bold as he gets older. I tend to think he is. Like more, when I say more bold, like willing to push the boundaries. Because I know he knows the difference between right and wrong. So let's get into some kind of recommendations for myself and for you as a parent, because a lot of these videos don't get into this. What I recommend for myself and for moving forward is that whole punishment strategy is not going to work, especially for your child with autism. Especially any kind of physical punishment. Like, certainly don't go there. But I'm talking like some sort of punishment, a timeout or taking away something. It has to be the whole reverse strategy, which you can research online. And we're going to talk about. I'm going to show you some videos, which comes down to some sort of reward system for positive reinforcement of a positive behavior. And I'm sure you know what I mean by that. For Chase, he has a lot of positive behaviors. He listens very well, and we've been trying to get him to make his bed when he's here, to put away his clothes. There's all kinds of things like house rules. So a recommendation there would be a large chalkboard or some sort of written device that has those house rules on there. That's clearly written for him, that he can see and read and comprehend the entire time that he's at daddy's house. That could be, flush the toilet, put down the seat, put away your clothes, make the bed, any number of different things. Don't delete videos, don't upload videos to YouTube, and have some sort of positive reward system that if you follow these rules, you're going to receive X, Y, and Z. For Chase, he loves Flamin' Hots, he loves ginger ale, he loves certain other things. It's a very difficult thing. It's when you cannot raise your voice and yell and kind of have a tantrum at your son or daughter who has autism. It's just is only going to make things much, much worse. And I've certainly learned my lesson in that case. You can start to think as a parent or as a dad that it is working, it is helping, but from all my research I've done the last 48 hours, I tend not to believe that. And I really had to sit back the last 48 hours and think deeply about how he is perceiving and digesting me yelling at him for my perception of him being disobedient or misbehaving or not following rules. He's been told a million times not to delete my videos off YouTube or upload videos or whatever, yet he's doing it anyways. And how do I cope with that? How does a parent cope with that? It takes a lot of practice, and I'm not the primary parent here. His mother is. So when he's at my house, again, things have traditionally been really, really great. It's just like this recent thing. So let me jump into some other videos that I am going to recommend on YouTube if you want to research this topic and some other help, because I'm certainly not the expert on it. But this doctor on here She is a popular vlogger on YouTube. Her name is Dr. Mary Barbarera, and she actually has clinics and different things you can watch in here. But the title of her video is Why You Should Start Using a Positive Discipline Approach. That whole positive discipline approach that I was talking about. And she doesn't get too specific on it. She actually has a course that you have to take to really learn more. But I could tell the direction she was going in, that she knows what she's talking about. So I do recommend that you check it out. Her YouTube page is at Mary Barbera, Turning Autism Around. The title of the video again is Why You Should Start Using Positive Discipline Approach, Discipline in Autism. The other videos I watched on this topic were not really helpful to me. There's not a lot on the internet on this subject. It is a really tough one. And I truly believe there's a lot of parents out there like myself who are yelling and screaming and punishing and thinking that that's improving and helping things, when it just may be making things much, much worse. The other video I found in here was really good. It's called, the YouTube page is called Children's Mercy Kansas City. And the video is called Managing Problem Behaviors in Children with Autism and Developmental Disabilities. But he really spells it out here, this strategy of rewards versus punishment. That for most of the autism community and even non-autism community, the rewards versus punishment strategy is going to be far more effective. Punishment discipline communicates what not to do, whereas rewards, the reinforcement, communicates what the correct behaviors are. That really spells it out. Never rely on punishment alone. Any discipline you use should be brief, non-harsh, and non-emotional, and used predictably. That non-emotional part is what is so difficult for mom or dad. Because you know what? Last weekend, I really was angry. I spent $100 on a special software program to try and retrieve deleted files. And it actually worked. Be aware of the ratio of positive to negative interactions. These are things that other generations didn't do. Certainly my dad was not into reward rather than punishment. He was all about punishment. And I was a very sweet kid, so I didn't face a lot of that. Hey, I hope this video has been helpful for you. If it has, please subscribe. Please give me a thumbs up. And please check out my other recent videos. You can see them in front of you here. A lot of categories here, from marriage to sensory rooms to kids' gyms to autism and employment, autism on Reddit, training police officers on autism, and autism stereotypes and other topics on here. Check them out. I would really greatly appreciate it. Please share all your loyalty over the years. If you're a new subscriber, thank you for finding KimMach7. If you're an old, I love you to death. I see all your comments. I comment as much as I can. I appreciate your loyalty and faith to KimMach7. I am going to have some future videos coming out on my friends at Simple Spectrum Autism Supplement. They are phenomenal. If you have a son or daughter with autism, I highly recommend these nutritional supplements by Simple Spectrum. I'll put a link down below. They are fantastic for my son Chase. I just gave his mother a reload, and hope you're doing well. And to summarize today's video, control your temper, control the volume of your voice, and try and come up with a different strategy. Try different things, where at the same time, there is no blanket approach for disciplining your child with or without autism. It's very individualized. It takes a lot of practice, and I've been very, very blessed and lucky. So has Chase's mother, that he is such a sweetheart. I'm hoping that I can do things differently moving forward on all of today's topics, and hope you enjoyed the video. You have a great day.